silver is leading gold up this month. This is what I'm going to do about it. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching Yankee Stacking. You know, I think the gold and silver rocket may have just left the launch pad in November. And boy, am I glad I've been stacking. Over the last 4 decades or so, I've been blessed to build a nice stack and a nice nest egg for my retirement, and I don't want to lose it. Physical gold and silver are helping me preserve the purchasing power of that nest egg. For this purpose, there is no substitute for physical precious metals. None. Now, I've been stacking gold pretty hard. Silver, okay, a little less hard this year. Last year, for every 300 ounces of silver, I purchased 1 ounce of gold. That was my buying ratio, silver to gold. But early in 2022, that changed to roughly 100 ounces of silver to every 1 ounce of gold. And this fall, I was buying more like 50 ounces of silver for every 1 ounce of gold. And that is mostly due to the current state of my silver stack and the crazy silver premiums. That might revert back to 300 ounces for every 1 ounce, or maybe even higher once silver eclipses $40 an ounce, and maybe silver premiums relax some. We'll see. But gold and silver have done tremendously well in November. I don't know if you realize this, but gold had 3 days of between $40 and $50 moves up. That was in a week. That is super rare. Something is going on when you see gold move like that. So gold's been up 9% from its November lows. But silver went bonkers during those same 3 days. The white metal's up 15% from its lows in November. Silver is leading gold up. And I didn't see that coming. I really thought gold would lead silver. But I want to leverage that right now. Even as I near retirement, and I care more about wealth preservation than ever before, I still want to grow some of my wealth. And I'm guessing you do too. But I still don't want to be in the broader stock market. Prices are too high. Earnings are going to get clobbered in this recession soon. And I'm a contrarian investor, so I'm looking for undervalued asset classes. And I've been allocating a very small portion of my portfolio into junior mining companies. If you watch my channel, you already know this. Check this out. The GDXJ, which is the index of junior mining stocks, is now up 34% off its 52-week low, while the NASDAQ is up just 11% from its 52-week low. You would have made more than triple the gains by investing in the GDXJ than if you had invested in the NASDAQ. That's impressive. That's what I call leveraging silver and gold. Now, I'm not a professional financial advisor. I'm not suggesting you follow my investment strategy for yourself, but I am super excited about how my mining stocks reacted to the recent jump in the spot price of gold and silver this month. I have speculated in several gold mining companies and just one silver mining company, but I may have found another. It's called Silver Mountain Resources. They were just ranked the most attractive silver opportunity on planet Earth by precious metals billionaire Eric Sprott. And I have Jose Vizquera of Silver Mountain joining me right now. He is sponsoring this video, and I want to ask him why silver is leading gold up. Hi, Jose. Welcome to Yankee Stacking.
Thank you very much for having me in your program. It's a real pleasure.
So far this month, gold has been up around 9%, silver up 15%. Why is silver leading gold?
I actually think silver will, historically, silver has been leading gold. And we see since the 90s, because in the 80s we had this very big spike in silver with the two brothers. But I mean, since the 90s has always been leading, and I think it has to do, first of all, because it's cheaper. So it's easier to buy an ounce of silver than to buy an ounce of gold. Although the correlation is always has been always kept like 60-1 pretty much. But I think the fact that it's cheaper, it helps. In this current market, I think has to do because silver is a more industrial mineral. So as the different countries try to push on the development of infrastructure, the first thing that will be pushed will be silver before you get into stacking the money as a safe haven that then will be gold. And on top of that, of course, there has been more money because people has been able to save money, and they have been able now to spend money in things like electric vehicles. So silver has now turned from being a safe haven, same as gold, to be safe haven, and on top of that, a green metal, going together with copper. In general, if we see, copper has always been going up faster than the rest. And in this case, has been copper, then silver, then gold. But now that copper and silver are tied together in what has to do with batteries and electric vehicles and EV in general as a green metal, I think that's an explanation for silver running before gold.
You know, I've seen a lot of stats about how depleted the supply of above ground silver is. But the demand, especially on the retail side, is crazy high for silver. I'm part of a silver and gold stacking community. We love the physical silver and gold, love to hold it. But we're seeing that dealers are really struggling to keep up with the demand. What is going to happen, Jose, when the big investor demand comes into the silver market with it being in such short supply?
Well, that's the beauty about silver, that in the case of silver, different from gold as of today at least, there is a correlation between supply and demand. Very much so. It behaves almost as a base metal commodity. And to your point, you're absolutely right. I mean, there is a limitation in the amount of production coming from silver. There is a limitation about new mines being put into production. There is a limitation on permitting new mines and all those sort of things. So, and the reality is that even the copper mines are running out of ore, and a lot of the silver was coming as a byproduct from the copper mines. So now you have kind of the perfect storm for investors in silver, where supply is not as much. Demand is growing, and it's not only growing from the retail trying to buy coins. You are actually.
Oh, wait a minute! Can you show me what you just brought up on the screen there? I'm sorry. It's like squirrel. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was from the listing of my grandfather's company.
Oh, nice. All right, sorry. Continue. My bad.
It's a side comment there. The velocity at which the electric vehicles will grow, expected to 2030, is 30x. Wow. So that is very, very impressive to what we see. And on top of that, we still see silver as a great metal, as an antibacterial. So it's used in the health industry. We see it in the photovoltaic cells, and we use it in the solar panels and all those things that I'm sure your audience already knows. But I mean, it is important to mention that silver is moving from only a bar to being industrial, and I think that difference is very important for the future of silver.
Right. Jose, in the prologue, I mentioned that the GDXJ has gone up over 3 times more than the NASDAQ from each of their 52-week lows. But yet, it's not getting any attention in the media. It's off everyone's radar. When is the average investor going to wake up to what's going on in this sector?
I think it's now. And I think part of the, in quote unquote, problem was the cryptocurrencies. And I think the fact that now cryptocurrencies has came down dramatically from 3 trillion to 800 billion. They almost had like a Lehman Brothers situation where they have to recover. They need to recover trust. And now people realize, oh my God, like now suddenly we need something tangible. And that is silver, and that is gold. And we're going back to basics. It was great until it was not great. And I'm not saying crypto will disappear. I actually believe that they will stay, but not at the levels that they were before, or will be used in a different way, not precisely as currency, not to hold value in an eventual crisis, which we're living right now. And interest rates keeps hiking, and we don't know what the Fed will continue to do. And recession is coming, and inflation keeps going up. And the indices with regards to the consumers are not in the levels that we expected. So everything is guiding us to believe that we will have a bull market for precious metals, beginning probably now. If I have to bet with you, I will bet that we'll make money by the first quarter of next year.
Sounds good.
1953, my grandfather started what today is the largest Latin American mining company. We operate 8 mines. We had at some point the largest gold mine in Latin America called Yanacocha. We were the largest silver producers with Uchuchacua. And we are the second largest copper producer with Cerro Verde, which is one of the most important copper assets in Peru. Because of that, my grandfather was called the patriarch of mining in Peru. And because of that, I decided to leave the country, because every time I was trying to do something, I was told, well, no, that's because of your grandfather. So I came to Canada to build my own future. And I started with a company called Oban. We were very successful moving that company to turn it into $1 billion company from $10 million. We spun it out into a company called O3, and I realized that it was okay to find deposits. It was okay to make money. But I wanted to give back to Peru, the country where I came from. And that was the beginning, a matter of purpose, to give back to Peru, the country I was born and raised, the country where my grandfather built this company. And I had the opportunity to team up with a team out of Peru to build a mining company out of Huancavelica, which is one of the poorest areas in Peru. And that's the beginning of Silver Mountain Resources. We're based in Peru. We're in Huancavelica, one of the most mining-friendly areas that you could imagine. Peru has been the largest silver producer in the world, either Peru or Mexico, but that has been number 1 and number 2. So if you want to look for elephants, you look for elephants in a country of elephants, and that is Peru. And if you are worried about the political situation, I can tell you that that's not something to worry about. We have very clear division of powers between the president and the Congress. So as long as that persists, which there is no reason why it would not, we have already had a couple of lefty governments, so that this will not be the exception. And we are advancing things as normal course of business.
And Silver Mountain Resources, it's one of those rare pure plays on silver, isn't it?
It's rare from many aspects. It is very pure in silver. It has all the infrastructure in place. The permits are ready to go. The investors that we were able to bring in are of the highest quality, from Franklin Templeton to Eric Sprott. And more important, there is already 100 million ounces in resources. Yes, they're historical, but I mean, they're historical only because the actual certificates were lost. So we're just drilling in the middle and converting them. So it's a pretty straightforward venture. No?
Now, you mentioned Eric Sprott. I mean, people watching this video should know that name very well. I read that Sprott Capital Partners, I believe, was telling their clients that at current valuation, you can't find a more compelling silver value opportunity anywhere. You've got some good shareholders, don't you?
We do. And to the point of making the investment, I mean, usually the investments in these projects, to put them into production, takes a vast amount of money. In this case, because there has been already $40 million invested before we came in, the amount of money that has to be deployed in order for this to become a mine is only $25 million. We have raised the money in February. We are expecting the warrants to come in. And if the warrants doesn't come in, we'll have to raise a little bit of money, but that's about it. And then the mine will be in production by 2024, which is yesterday pretty much.
Wow.
In mining terms, these things takes very long, but This is quite fast.
What silver resources are you most excited about, Jose, and why?
Well, I guess Reliquias, because it's the one that will begin production. Then Caudalosa, which is the other area that we have. So from Reliquias, we expect to be producing between 2 and 3 million ounces per year. We are going to be producing at around $14 per ounce all in, which means that we're going to have a profit of $6 per ounce. So if we end up, not immediately, but we end up producing 3 million ounces per year, that's a significant amount of money that we could use to build a corporation. I mean, our idea of this are not small dreams, but we really want to build from Silver Mountain Resources the platform to become a better version of Pan American Silver. As part of that, we have hired as our COO the person that was in charge of Pan American Silver in Peru. So we're bringing the best talent we can to the story.
Excellent. What was the all-in sustaining cost? Did you say
14.
14? Wow, that's great. Silver Mountain Resources can be found on the over-the-counter market under ticker symbol AGMRF, and on the Toronto Stock Exchange for my Canadian viewers at ticker symbol AGMR. So, Jose, I'm currently a shareholder of another rare silver pure play junior, but I've been looking for a second one. How can listeners and viewers find out more about Silver Mountain?
Well, you can reach out to us, www.silvermountainresources.com. And within our website, you can reach out our investor relations, and we'll be happy to schedule calls with your investors. I mean, it is our job to keep everyone very well informed on what we're doing.
I will have all that information in the description of the video below. And Jose, thank you so much for taking time out for me.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having us.